Hey, 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 and we're back. Give me a second. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. What do you see? We got to talk about it, family. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Come on in. Come on in. So another calling you messing up my stream. Hold on, bro. Put the drawers on for a minute, so another. Hold on. Let's hold on. We got to talk about this. Come on in the chat, man. Come on in the chat. Like, share, and subscribe. Sonetta, don't call while I'm on the stream because I don't have the call thing like you got, man, to take calls and do that all at the same time. So you knock me off the stream when you calling. Just come on in and sit down and have a seat, side, and listen to this, baby. And y'all like, share, and subscribe. We got to deal with this once and for all, family. Because these brothers here are like have cognitive dissonance and trying to purposely misunderstand what I'm saying about Kemet. So come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Now, the title of the show, family, the title of the show is Sonetta Says, This is Science. This is art. Sonetta says, when you see this, you shouldn't see perversion. I want the few people that are in here right now until the rest of the people come in, I want for you to put in the chat right now if you agree that what's on that thumbnail, if you see science, or do you see sexual perversion? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I know. Because I want those people, those Kemet brothers, the brothers that are in Kemet and this, loving this kind of craziness and to have this cognitive dissonance. It's a sickness. It's a mental illness that y'all have. And I'm telling you over and over and over, I'm trying to bring this to you because the world is laughing at you. No, they're not laughing at me. I'm just the messenger. They're laughing at you guys that you have that level of cognitive dissonance. You are purposely blinding yourself to the truth. But there before you is the truth. Now again, let's take the poll. Put it in the chat. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Y'all ain't scared to come out in public and try to tell a sane man, a father, that this kind of craziness is acceptable, fam. This is beneath Kemet. For real. All of these types of depictions, these are beneath intelligent people. If you have a culture that has one of the oldest writing systems, Medu, why do you need what's on the thumbnail to explain regeneration or self-creation? Or even creating external matter from what is within? Why do you need the picture of a man, a deity with his penis in his mouth when you had the first known language in a comprehensive manner in that area in that time? The Medu is way more comprehensive than many of the other languages and types of languages in the area. Just be honest. The Meduneter is a very comprehensive and complete language. And I said language because it can be spoken and not just understood. I know that. I don't know why people would think that my knowledge of these things don't come from years of study and discovery. If some of y'all that believe in this stuff, if you've never seen these things, then that lets me know that you haven't really been studying. The fact that I'm dragging all of these things out of the closet for the people to see is a product of my knowledge of Kemet. And this duality that I'm telling you, I understand that Kemet was filled with very intelligent people, but also filled with deranged people. And this duality creates this question and this quandary for you today. That if they were so intelligent, why teach through perversion instead of linguistics and philosophy? Why use what I have on the thumbnail to teach regeneration, self-creation, and even creating of matter from within the self? That self being a deity or aspect of nature called Geb in this particular papyri. Why couldn't that be written down and not drawn? See, that's the duality of the question. Why couldn't that be written down, Brother Sarnetta? Answer that. See, y'all don't want to answer that because at the end of the day, you have to agree. You can't hang that in your house, Sarnetta. You you can't hang that in your house. But what it actually means, you can hang in your house and propagate. But the papyrus itself, the creator of that papyrus, is the perverted mind. Not the mind that says, hey, that's a man doing autofellatio. That's not the perverted person. The person that comes in their house and they find a pornographic book laying on the floor and they look at it and say, that's pornography. That's not the pervert. The pervert and the deviant mind is the person that created that and that deemed that necessary versus philosophy, versus mathematics, versus linguistics, versus spirituality. They preferred pornography and deviant sexuality. That's a problem. And it's more of a problem that you have cognitive dissonance to the degree that you can't separate what I have clearly separated for you in the duality. The sanity of deep philosophy, mathematics, and science versus pornography and deviant culture. Now, again, the title of the show says, Sarnetta says, this is science. But what do you say? What do y'all say? Even some of y'all that have been swallowed up by the Kemetic science, swallowed up by the ignorant and the dangerous part of it, the dark part of it. What do you say about that? See, it's quiet as crickets because nobody can disagree. You understand what I'm saying? It's quiet as crickets because no one can disagree. That's why these guys hate to have that conversation with me. Because it's just like dealing with a little bad child, a little bad kid. He could lie, he can manipulate, he can fake cry, he can cry crocodile tears. But when you close the parameters from a child's foolishness to only correction is able to be shared, then The tears come out and the belt comes out. Why? Because there's two polar opposite thoughts. One of foolishness, unyielding foolishness, and one of sanity and correction. That's why that conversation hurts so much. This is why Brother Sarnetta would put his own credibility on the line to say to a scholar and a historian and a linguist, which I am, and a musician, professional musician, say to me, oh man, you just don't understand. No, sir. When I brought this out 6 years ago, you didn't even understand it, baby, because you didn't even know it was actually in existence. But you were worshiping this stuff. You didn't even know it was in existence. You should be thanking me. You should be thanking me that I've drug all of this trash out of y'all's closet. And now, after y'all have purged all of the junk, all of the perversion, that now you should be able to say, at least with some semblance of manhood, you know, I didn't know that was in that closet. You know, although we know the Kemet folk were extreme intelligent people, that's not intelligent. And when you live in that headspace and you can't tell the truth, bro, it's only called cognitive dissonance because you're a father, you know better. That's what you're looking at on the thumbnail is beneath intelligent people, dude. Way beneath. Way beneath. I said, if you had the first comprehensive and complete language of such great magnitude that the Medu Neter is, in all of its types and stages and fonts, even out to the Demotic. Fam, you're going to tell me that you had no other way to tell people what regeneration or self-creation or even creating of matter from within oneself? You're going to tell me that you couldn't have told the world that story without looking at what you're seeing on that thumbnail. Does that make sense to you? The very fact that you have cognitive dissonance about this should be scary to the people that y'all teach. Because you should be able to say, you know what? Hey, man, we had a great society in Kemet, but something was wrong with some of these people. And some of these people were priests. Many of these people were priests. Many of these people had influence over the people, like Mr. Ani from the Papyrus of Ani. That was a real person. You couldn't do no better than that. Writing in Ani's death document, in his funerary papyrus, pornography. Drawing it on the walls, pornography. Writing it in the coffin texts. Homosexuality, rape, pornography, incest. You couldn't do any better than that. See, that's what the Most High's issue was with Egypt. The book of Isaiah calls those that are in Egypt Ami, the Hebrew word Ami. That's my people. Yes, the Kemites were called the people of God. And Jacob, the workmanship of his hand, or his inheritance, and Assyria, the workmanship of his hand. But the Most High took his presence from that place and refused to call the people of Egypt his people at a certain time for a certain reason. What was that reason? Oppression of the poor, extreme debauchery and decadence, extreme perversion of deity, sexual perversion of all types, even sexual perversion of mankind, laying with beasts, all present in Kemet, and all made to be a mainstay in the spirituality of Kemet and its priesthood. This is when the Most High said, these are not my people, and I'm going to make for myself a people. Abraham goes into pre-dynastic Kemet. Under a different time, a different mindset. But then the Bible morphs into another time and mindset where it's no longer peace between those that come into Kemet and cohabitate and sojourn there, but a time of oppression. Not during the pre-dynastic times, but during the dynastic times. Oppressive leaders in Kemet. Oppressive so much to the point that they didn't even identify with the common people, even to interbreed or intermarry or to intermingle in any way. So the Most High is against that place, against that people, against that mindset. I mean, Herodotus says in histories that they were having sex with goats in the street in Kemet, dynastic Kemet, late Kemet. Are you going to tell me that I'm a pervert because I read Herodotus the histories? Are you crazy? That's called cognitive dissonance. You know what's the truth. You know what perversion is. You know the perversion of that place and even the duality of that place and even the acceptance and the rejection of that place by our God. I said Assyria, workmanship, Jacob, Israel, God's inheritance, and Egypt, my people. That's what it says in the book. Calls Egypt Ami, my people. But what happened? I told you in our debate with Brother Jabari, I started off reading the book of Romans. What happened is that you changed the image of God into corruptible things. Look at the thumbnail. Those are aspects or powers in the Hebrew culture. When we use the word Elohim, we are denoting powers and aspects of creation and power and greatness of the one immutable God called the Lord God or Yahuwah Elohim. We don't say that there are more than one God. We simply say that all that is in God are powers of the one God. You've taken the powers of the one God that manifest themselves in nature and in the cosmos, and you've made them into birds. You've made them into dogs. You made them into snakes. And then you mix it with men. And then you show us the depictions of them sucking their own penis. That's what you've done to God. In the book of Romans, it says it, that you've changed the image of God into that which is corruptible. Four-footed beasts, birds, all of that. Creeping things. And then, in so much as your sexuality is related, it says that you even change what was natural, what is netter. It says that you changed it to those things that are not natural. Men with men, women with women. All of these things are present in the Kemet culture. If you are really, truly cognitive dissonant, you miss everything that I'm saying. You miss it. You see, oh no, Brother Michael, you keep on bringing this stuff up. No, the truth is, this stuff keeps being brought up because it's a mainstay in your culture, and that duality is a problem. That's why mono is such a mainstay in the Hebrew culture, because we don't like confusion, two sides, double-mindedness, instability. So what do? We say one God. Shema Yahshua Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. We say one God, not two. We say marriage and humanity and sexuality is one way, not two. And all of that is effective and true. But in Kemet, we write down creation, self-generation, but we also draw autofellatio. Shout out to my brother Zion Lex. I was going to ask, and after I finished giving the brother his props, because Sonnet asked that question, he asked me to see what Zion thought about things like this. But Sonnet, Zion sees the same thing that I see in this. And you do too. But you just refuse to see the truth. Anybody in their right goddamn mind sees what I see. And I know it's painful, dude, to hear this shit. But y'all have a sickness, huh? You would rather hold on to that crazy, ignorant shit. You'd rather hold on to that than admit, okay, there's a problem here. Huh? You'd rather coddle cognitive dissonance than say what you see right there. Let me ask it again. Sonetta says that on the thumbnail is science, and I'm tripping when I keep bringing that out because they won't address it as what it is. But what do y'all see? Huh? Because see, I don't have cognitive dissonance. I don't have it. If I'm actually tripping, and that's not a penis up to a male deity's mouth, I'll stop. But if that's actually a deity called Geb, an aspect of nature called Geb, now being put to pen and paper and paint, and the creator of that papyrus drew his penis in his mouth. Tell me what you see about the mind of the creator of that papyrus, not the mind of the man that's pointing it out to you and saying, Sonetta, you didn't even know this existed 5 years ago until Michael Edwards brought it out before Kemet on trial. And then I gave it to Tazariak and he cut Ank's head off with it. And then y'all start passing the shit around the community. You didn't even know it was in existence. That's how ignorant you are about your culture, what you believe, dude. That's the truth. I remember the first time you addressed it, sir. You said it wasn't even real. I remember that. Not only you said it wasn't even real, but Dr. Ma'at said it wasn't even real. Y'all didn't even know that this was an actual papyrus 5 to 6 years ago. You didn't have a clue. If you didn't have a clue about this, I know you couldn't have known about the coffin text and the anal rape and the homosexuality and the incest in there. If you didn't know about this, the Papyrus of Henutawy, you didn't know about the coffin text, I know you couldn't have known about autofellatio in the Papyrus of Ani. If you didn't know about the Henutawy Papyrus, if you didn't know about the porn, and we could just keep going, fam. Like I'm saying, Papyrus of Tamanu is another one. that has a duality. I just talked about that on Sinai. It would have been beautiful for y'all to say what the Papyrus of Tamanu meant as far as creation. The coalescing of mass and matter, weather and event. Geb is the earth. Shu is the wind. Nut is the sky. And even explaining the ostrich feather and all of these other things that are part of this papyrus, what it really means. Why did you have to draw Geb with his penis all the way from earth to glory to his sister? There is a perverted mind at work, and it's not mine. It's the creator of that could have took this comprehensive language that has more than 2 types and fonts, all the way out to things that are congruent with Greek languages like the Demotic. Y'all had Demotic in Kemetic. You're telling me that this has to be understood the way that is drawn on the papyrus only? I even asked Polite this before. If they were so intelligent in Kemet, why did they have to teach this way when you have a language? Now, ask it one more time to brother Sarnetta, because Sarnetta keeps on saying this shit as if he talking to fools out here. And they don't know that makes you look more sad and ignorant, man. The more you tell people that's bringing you stuff that you don't even know about, you're telling me that I don't read enough, but you didn't know that was in existence. I just said 5 years ago, I remember you telling the world before Kemet on trial that picture of Geb sucking his penis ain't even real. And then I roll out the entire papyrus of Henutawy. And then y'all say, oh, well, nah, man, you must be some kind of freak or something. No, man, it's your mind. It's your mind. It's, it's your mind and the mind of the creator of that papyrus. And it's so sad that you won't throw that away. And your followers follow you and they listen to you manifest cognitive dissonance. You know better. And you know that you're making a goddamn fool of yourself. Because when people get to really finding out all of this stuff and they really start studying, and then they see in the coffin text a man getting raped by his uncle. I will place my phallus between his buttocks, the buttocks of an heir. Wait a minute. You're telling me I'm tripping. You telling me Zion Lex see something different in that? No, fam. Just because Zion Lex is unfolding things in the Medu Neter that y'all don't understand, don't mean that he's a pervert. That don't mean he has cognitive dissonance. That don't mean he's ignorant than a motherfucker. That don't mean that he don't share the same thought. I just said, even that what you're looking at on the thumbnail has an explanation, but the explanation should never be connected to that papyrus. Look at it. So why don't you put that on a t-shirt? Would you would you put that on a t-shirt and walk around in public with that on? Hell no, you wouldn't, because y'all hide it and you shame to even know acknowledge its existence now. And why is there so much of it, brother? And when are y'all gonna ever admit Yeah, Mike, okay, that's crazy. Damn, at least let us know that you're purposely sick and not really sick. Let us know that this is cognitive dissonance and not a psychosis that y'all have, a deficit as a leader. You can't even tell the goddamn truth because you have so much invested. You done bought so many Ankhs and so many eyes of Geb. I mean, eyes of Horus and little Isis statues and shit. You done invested so much that you can't even be honest with yourself. That's cognitive dissonance. You know better. And I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna keep on saying this shit until one of y'all actually get the manhood enough to say, you know what, Mike, this shit don't belong in our cipher, in our community. We don't need to ever show this. The mind that created this was perverted. We had a language, we had numbers, we had connection to other cultures where we could explain all of these things. Until you able to say that, I'm going to keep on showing the world why they need to continue on leaving the Kemetic culture. And that's what y'all experiencing, a great exodus. People are leaving that shit because of what y'all won't teach them. People looking at you, laughing at you and shit, and being embarrassed themselves because it takes an Israelite like Zion Lex to read the goddamn language, and it takes an Israelite like Michael Edwards to pull out all of the damn papyruses and the books that y'all won't let the people see or read. Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna keep on doing it. I'm gonna keep on doing it until the cognitive dissonance goes away, until you bring your silly ass back to your mind, till you come back to the God you, till you able to tell the truth with your mouth instead of confusing people. I mean, goddamn, just because something makes money for you, would you rather continue selling that shit to children? I mean, you worse than a dope dealer with that. You know something is wrong, but because something is, it generates money and a cash flow for you, you ignore the dirt about it. That's dangerous, bro. That's dangerous. Now, in closing, I want y'all to look up these things. Papyrus of Taminu. Taminu. I think that's how you spell it. Taminu. Tell me what you see. And tell me, has Sanada ever explained that to y'all before I did? I want y'all to grab the Papyrus of Henutawy. Henutawy. Tell me what you see. I want you to grab the Papyrus of Ani, plate 7. Look at the meaning of the Medunetra. Read it. Tell me what you read. Autofellatio. I want you to get Herodotus, the histories. Read it. Tell me what you read in Herodotus, the histories about sex with goats in Kemet. Get the coffin text. Pull up spell 640, pull up spell 700, pull up the whole goddamn book and tell me, when does it become science for you to write raping a family member anally? Anal rape of a family member that's younger than you. And then tell me, oh no, don't read what it says. Just listen to me explain it. Why is there so much of this shit? Why is there so much of it? You tell me, is that science? Peace.